What's going on, Sportsmafia fans? We're back.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up? How's everyone doing today? We're here.
We're here.
We're ready.
Everything's good.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, we're going to do a little bit of a short show here. Correct, Carson? Yeah.
Yeah.
Today's going to be a...
busy people right now.
Quick, fast, and simple.
So, happy Madden Day to you.
Happy Madden Day.
Congratulations.
Cheers. Happy Madden Day.
I don't get mine for another 3 days.
Well, we're going to play a little bit today, aren't we?
Yeah, that's exciting.
We are, man. We're going to play a quick little game. We're going to see what's up.
You guys will know for sure David wins. Trust me.
Yeah, all right, guys. So, look, check this out, all right? So, we're going to go ahead. We're going to hop into the Fernando Tatis Jr., his little 80-game suspension on that BS. You know, we got a lot to say about that. We're also going to hop into fantasy football as well. We're going to talk a little bit about, who's out there, who's hurt, who's there, who's not, who's ready to go, who you should stay away from, and who you shouldn't stay away from. So let's hop right into it, man. Have you heard about this Fernando Tatis Jr.?
I saw it on the scroll. When I say scroll, I'm always on ESPN.com. It came out in the headline that he had been suspended. I didn't know exactly. It's for steroids, apparently. I know there's a story that came out today that his father said something about a haircut, but I didn't look into it.
So I can't pronounce the name of the drug that he was taking, but we're going to call it Nemo because that's how it's spelled, is Neom. Nemo. Yeah, Nemo. So here's the thing about this drug, though. I could go to Walmart right now, buy it for $10 over the counter.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me right now is that if I can go over the counter and buy it for $10, that it becomes a illegal substance for these MLB, these NFL players, NBA, NHL, MMA, boxing, the whole nine, soccer. Let's just go down the list.
The line's pretty blurred.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like some people get cracked down for things that, you can go and just buy anytime. Some of the stuff they are running is pretty not great, but you know what? If it's on the fence, just let him play.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a ringworm on the back of his neck from where he was getting shaved up from the barber.
What's better for baseball right now? Tatis playing or Tatis not playing?
Tatis probably playing.
Playing, for sure. So, suspending him. But
100%.
I guess it just, if you're saying it's a countertop thing, then it's a little harsh.
It's an antibiotic. It's a steroid antibiotic that you get from over the counter.
Well, that's ridiculous.
So, I don't know, man. But
that really hurts their chances this year.
Yeah, man. But to have like an 80-game suspension for it just doesn't make any sense. And he's without pay. Like, come on. Like, that's
80
ridiculous.
games seems really, really, really harsh.
Yeah, the 80-game thing.
Like, he won't be back till the middle of next season.
Yeah.
And he's already missed this entire season with a broken wrist.
Yep, from a motorcycle accident, yeah.
Tough break for the Padres there. You just go out and trade everything you have for Soto, and Soto's not with Tatis, which you envisioned probably.
And Juan Soto's not even really doing that well.
I think the Padres still probably be a playoff team for sure, but are they gonna? They already have troubles beating the Dodgers right now.
Yeah.
And they got the Mets, man. They're playing great. Philly has been on fire, apparently.
The Braves. The Braves have been good. The Mets have been good. The Dodgers, the Astros. Yankees are kind of dropping a little bit, but no one should fear where the Yankees are going to go. The Yankees are going to go to the World Series this year because it's just a pronoun in face.
Hey, New York. If you haven't actually watched this, you got the most optimistic Yankee fan of all time sitting left to my left here. Like, that's great. I mean...
My wife's a diehard Yankee fan.
I already know. I've been threatened a couple times today. I told her that Mariners would get 2 titles before she'd get 27. Come on, that's tongue-in-cheek.
I'm surprised I didn't come home to a bloodbath all over the damn kitchen.
But yeah, that's something about. I know we're talking about Tatis, but the Yankees kind of collapsing right now. Is like they look like a juggernaut. They were demolishing everyone, and since the All-Star break, man, they just don't look right.
Well, I mean, like. You know that.
Everyone has slumps in baseball, so they could turn it back around. I'm not saying they can't. It's just like They're losing a lot of series right now.
Well,
there's a lot of discontent with their team.
So for me, I look at it like this. You can start off as the best basketball team, the best baseball team, the best football team, the best hockey team, the best fighter coming into early months, early year. And then like when it comes down to the playoffs, everyone chokes. I mean, think of it this way. When you watched how fantastic the Dodgers were doing, Dodgers lose out. You see how fantastic the Astros were doing. They meet the Braves last year. They lose. It's all about the go of the team and how the heart of the team is. You know, it's not about where they're at now. It's about where you're going to finish. So however you start doesn't really show anything to me. Like a lot of people were like, oh yeah, man, look at the Dodgers. The Dodgers are starting off great. The middle of the season, they weren't doing so hot. Then now all of a sudden they're doing great. They're number 3 in the power rankings out of
No, Yankees deserve a little break here. They're going to have a slump for sure, but they've kind of had this issue for a while now, so like not quite as like simple as what they were expecting.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm not going to feel too bad for Yankee fans. Probably ever.
Well, as soon as the Mariners start doing something, we'll have a conversation.
This has been the same thing I've been living for 20 years. Like, there's nothing you can say that'd be like, oh, okay, you got me.
It's just like me with the Lions.
Yeah, the Lions are so easy to make fun of.
So the Lions are like the Mariners in baseball.
Pretty much. Yeah, they probably both had the longest active non-playoff appearance between the two franchises. It's got to be close at least.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Mariners on a historic run. I mean, like.
Yeah.
21 years, that's pretty bad.
Great look.
But it's all good. It's all good. You just need... You wait 20 years and get a Julio.
Yeah.
Trust me, I haven't been so happy about a Seattle athlete in a while.
Says Ken Griffey, I bet.
Baseball-wise, A-Rod was a shit. He was when he started.
He was.
Guys, got to remember he was a Mariner for 3 years.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Absolutely.
Then he went to Texas, and then everyone hated him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But speaking of that, like, why would you ever get mad at someone for taking $249 million, especially back in the late 90s?
Right.
You'd be insane not to take that. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't hate A-Rod. He's just a little different type of dude.
Yep. So, look, guys, we're going to hop right into fantasy. You know it's coming right around the corner. Everyone's drafts.
I'm mock drafting right now.
You're mock drafting still?
Yeah.
Who do you have?
We started with Henry at the 4th pick.
Oh, you're in another one now.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're going to be doing it while on the show doing another one.
I got Henry in the 4th pick overall.
Okay. All right.
Why not?
All right. All right, guys. So look, check this out.
Drafting season.
Yeah, why not? Just keep it going. All right, guys. We're gonna hop into fantasy real quick. We're gonna talk a little bit about it. We're gonna probably do about an hour and 20 minutes. We're gonna just kind of go through. So let me ask you this real fast: who would be your ideal quarterback to have at fantasy?
Like overall?
Overall, who who would you have?
It's like 1A, 1B. It would be 1A Josh Allen and then 1B Herbert to me.
Okay.
Which it's not really controversial. Like I really like both teams. Allen's proven it the last 2 years, and he runs the ball a ton. A lot of scoring touchdowns. And he scored the most points last year by a bit. So that's my guy. If Herbert's there though, I ain't gonna shed a tear. That guy is. Well, he's coming into his 3rd or 4th year right now, and he has an awesome roster. My 1-2, and there's no shame if you can get Mahomes anytime, around there.
I mean, for me personally, I mean the top 2 quarterbacks who I mean, if I had to pick between these two in fantasy, it'd be either Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts, he averages 25 points a fantasy game. So why not? want to average 25 points a game with someone who I know that I'm going to get averaging 25 points per fantasy game.
Yeah.
It's a no damn brainer. I would rather have Jalen Hurts than.
If we're talking so we should clarify, like if you're talking about super flex, the reason QBs are so valuable is there's only like 20 really good ones, and just about anyone that's playing is going to put their QB in the super flex. I mean, you can play in their running back, but QBs are really consistent at hitting that 20 mark, 25 points.
Right.
And it's like spotting your team 50 points, and you just hope the rest of your team does right. Having QBs are awesome, though. In the super flex and the standard league, they're still awesome, but you should really be looking like that third or fourth round to be starting to pick them up.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
You want to get a top-tier running back and a top-tier receiver in the standard league to start. I
mean, again, though, I wouldn't...
Preferably 2 running backs in the standard league is where you want to be. It's like the shortstop position in baseball. Not a lot of great shortstops that can hit for average or for power, they're a rare commodity. When like Nomar and Jeter and A-Rod were playing shortstop back in the day, those are the guys you wanted to draft first.
I mean, Nomar Garcia-Parra would most definitely be my go-to, though, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like there's 3 of these dudes, and the rest are like all garbage.
But they're not bad.
They become more valuable than even a Barry Bonds in the field, just because I can get in there a really awesome outfielder to play with the once-in-a-lifetime shortstop on my team.
Yeah.
So it's a scarcity. That dictated. If there was a ton of great running backs, no one would be drafting running backs to start.
Yeah, no.
Not at all.
Not one. But I mean, like, if I had to pick just in a standard league, all right, let's go off a standard league. 1 quarterback, 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers, tight end, a flex, defense, a kicker. Okay? If you are starting one, who would be your ideal quarterback? Josh Allen?
Yeah, I'm taking Allen.
Okay. I mean, I would have to go with Herbert at that point. Me personally.
Like I said, I don't have anything. I wouldn't be over upset or anything if I had Herbert instead of Allen. It's just if I had a choice between the 2, I'd probably take Allen.
Yeah.
But having Herbert, I mean, that's a coin flip.
Yeah.
They'll probably have both similar seasons.
Absolutely.
But yeah, if you're in a super flex, that's great. I've seen Allen go in a standard draft about 3rd most of the time. So he's the first guy off the board.
Because of the points he puts up.
Yeah, exactly. Which in most standard leagues, you want to push the QBs down by quite a bit because there's so many good ones.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be upset to have Justin Herbert or Jalen Hurts, to be honest. That's just me, though.
That's a good one.
Yeah, who'd you pick?
All right. So I got Derrick Henry in the first. I'm picking 4th overall. I could add Jefferson or Cooper Kupp there, but Derrick Henry in the standard. Come on, if he doesn't get hurt, he could easily be the best fantasy player.
Yeah, absolutely.
I came around and grabbed Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Need a blazer. My 3rd pick was Barkley. And then my 4th right now was Mike Williams. I think we're doing all right.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
All right. Who are your top 5 QBs?
Top 5?
Top 5.
Okay. Well, we know it's Allen and Herbert. Mahomes.
Okay.
We're talking fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Lamar. And... it could be Burrow. It could be Hurts. It could be Murray. It could be any of those guys right after that.
Gotta pick
one.
one.
But I think the top 4 is pretty solidified.
I got you. Josh Allen, Herbert, Mahomes, Jalen Hurts for sure. Now, something that I was really pissed off about and what I kind of want to talk about is I looked at the top 100 players in today's game right now. They had Kirk Cousins in the top 90 to 100.
90 to 100 on Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins. They put him at 90, between 90 and 100.
Yeah, he should be higher than that.
The guy went 33 and 7 touchdowns, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He did better than 90% of these quarterbacks that are on the list right now. He did 90% better than.
Yeah.
90%.
Cousins awesome.
In
a standard league, he's great to have as your QB. It's not a bad thing because the rest of your team is going to be really good. In a super flex, if he's like, he could be my number 1, but if he's my number 2, forget about it.
Look, my top 5: Allen, Herbert, Mahomes, Hurts,
think
and
if
Cousins.
you started your super flex and you got Josh Allen, and you run into Kirk Cousins around 3 or 4. Now you're starting Allen and Cousins.
Yeah.
For like a super receiver or an awesome running back. Wow. Standard league, though, you probably get Cousins in that 5th to 6th round, or you should be looking to get him around there.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk wide receivers.
Is Kirk Cousins a top 10 QB in fantasy? That's the question.
Yeah.
He's close.
I think he's top 10.
He's right in that range. He's not. I don't know if we're 100% sure. Would I rather have Derek Carr?
I think he's better than. I think he's better than Lamar. I think he's better than Dak.
I don't think he's better than Lamar. I just disagree with the running thing that with Lamar is outstanding. As long as he didn't get hurt, I would take Lamar over pretty much everyone except for like 3 dudes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that Kurt is better than Lamar. That's just me. I know that a lot of people are gonna say other difference, but yeah, I think that Lamar just isn't the guy. So, top 5 receivers. The ones who I would most definitely like is Stephon Diggs. I mean, I like Tyler Lockett. I really like Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, he's good, but if we're talking like top 5, where Kupp or Justin Jefferson, excuse me. Those are like the 2 standouts. Like those are one. Like I'll take either guy pretty much. And then there's a slight drop off to me, and it's where you got like Chase and Diggs, and you got Devontae Adams, which he scares me a little bit this year, but he could be amazing. Then there's a little step down to me too, and then there's like Deebo Samuels and Tyreek Hill. Those kind of guys. Michael Pittman Jr. is going to be really good this year. Jalen Waddle, I think it's going to be an awesome year for him as well. Yeah, I don't know. If you're going top 5, though, it's like Kupp, Jefferson, probably like Chase, Diggs, and probably Devontae. I don't know if he's going to be as good with the Raiders as he was with.
Well, okay, so I'm looking at the list, right? I see Mike Evans. Mike Evans had a 1,000-yard season every single year. Almost every year, he's had a 1,000-yard season, right? So Mike Evans would be in that top 5 for sure, point-wise. Okay, I'm looking at Justin Jefferson. I'm looking at Mike Evans. I'm looking at Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett always gets great numbers for you. Jalen Waddle's going to have a blowout year this year because now that Tyreek is over there, I think that Tyreek is going to take most.
I forgot a guy because for some reason he's down on this list. I should have mentioned CeeDee Lamb. I think is going to have a great year. I really do. Cooper out. He had pretty good production as a fantasy player, but I could definitely see his targets go up and more yardage, like be more like that 160 points. To more like a 200 guy, 210. We're putting him in like that top 10 range.
So I had him on all 3 of my fantasy teams last year. I had him on all 3.
I know. I think this year is a little different. I think we're putting too much expectations on rookies. It's great if they pop, but it doesn't. Some of these guys do need a year or 2. It's just how things are.
I'm not saying anything bad, but what I'm saying is that
I think CD's coming into his prime probably right about now, or maybe another year from now. But I think his production with Cooper being out of town. Man, that ball's going to fly towards his directions quite a bit more than normal.
Yeah, but the problem is this. When I watch CeeDee Lamb play...
I auto-picked.
You auto-picked?
Oh, that's a great pick.
Sorry.
I would have gotten that anyways.
All right.
Hey, that's an auto-draft disaster that reverted.
So I look at CeeDee Lamb and I looked at Amani Cooper last year, right? I watched a lot of Dallas games last year. And we're going to talk about Zeke here in a second because Zeke, man,
Don't base your draft around him. That's for sure.
I had this conversation with this guy, which, you know, he was right. Zeke didn't fumble 3 times in one game. He was right. I gave it to him. You know, I know when to swallow my pride and, you know, suck it up and say, you know what, bro, you're right. I know when I can admit when I'm wrong. But here's the problem. When you fumbled 2 times in one game against the Cardinals and the Falcons, then you fumble 2 other times, and you fumble a total of 17 in your career, there are running backs out there that only fumble once a year, twice a year. Zeke has been putting the ball on the carpet 17 times. And he did fumble last year. He fumbled 1 time last year, but he also ran like a duck. He was like afraid to run. He didn't get anywhere. Zeke is going down on a downfall. Okay?
He hasn't been that great for quite a few years now. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, fantasy terms, like, he's not going to do anything special. The only thing good about him is that he gets a lot of carries, which
But last year, he only had 200-yard games. That was against Carolina and against the Eagles. Every other time, he hasn't. He's had 18 touches one game for 38 yards.
Yeah, no, like his
highest was 26
he's not
points.
consistent.
Yeah, he's just really not a consistent player.
I think a lot of people still think he's like a top 3 running, you know, pick him in the top 3 rounds. I would shade him down to like the 6th round. I don't mind him being my 2nd running back, but only after I have like 2 receivers, another running back, and a QB.
No, he can be on the bench.
He could be on the bench.
He could be in the free agency.
I'm not saying that he's horrible to have as a 2nd running back. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But okay.
But still,
we're almost there.
So guys, look, okay, so those are the top 5 right there. But when CeeDee Lamb wasn't getting the ball, guess what happened? CeeDee was running like he didn't really want to be there. You know, and that's what happens with all these wide receivers is that, just because the ball is going to one person doesn't mean that you don't have the opportunity to get the ball. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean that you don't have the opportunity to get the ball. Like, just because in Madden it tells me that I have to throw it to the red route doesn't mean I'm going to throw it to the red route every single time.
No, that's just telling you where the play's designed.
Yeah,
but
I know.
That doesn't mean you got to follow it.
Yeah, but if the
sometimes
play,
they're covered.
Yeah, if the play design is to Amani Cooper on a 5-yard slant and it's not there, and CD, you're just running you're running a fly, but you're just jogging it.
I feel like I'm gonna get smoked tonight, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I think David's got me into Madden. I will take credit for the show, the start at least, but I'm a little worried about Madden here.
Look, here's the thing about Madden, and what I'm going to tell everybody is that this is what it's all about in Madden, man. You got to have a great playbook, you got to have a great defense, and you got to know how to throw and run the ball. And I'm going to teach Carson all that today. You want to know why I'm going to teach Carson that all day today? Because
you put all that pressure on yourself, my friend.
Because he's going to know how to become one of the top percent.
Bring it. That's awesome.
He will come out and he'll be like, yo, I'm the best now. Like, you can't beat me, guys. Get out of my way.
I'm looking forward to playing it, though.
I know.
It looks awesome, guys. I'm not lying.
It does. It looks a lot of fun. So, look. This is what I want to say real fast. Everyone is clowning on Antonio Gibson for Washington. Everyone's clowning on him.
I know.
I don't understand why everyone is clowning on this guy.
I'm not clowning on him because I don't really make fun of people like that, but I'm not high on him. I'm pushing him down the board. He can get out of my way. I don't want anything to do with him. Where he's at.
I think... Why is Derrick Henry
ADP,
so low on
this is
list?
the average draft position. Mm-hmm. I don't like where he's at. If he scales down a couple rounds, that's where I like these kind of guys. Mm-hmm. But when they're going around people, they're like, I feel like quite a bit better than like Nick Chubb and Aaron Jones. I would, those kind of guys right around him. Man, I would be hard pressed. I would even like take a flyer on Javon Williams than going with him.
You know what, dude? Give me Antonio Gibson and give me Josh Jacobs.
I feel like there's no upside there.
Devontae Williams, I think Javonte is going to be the lowest of the low.
I think it's my favorite draft ever right here. Let's see how it goes.
All right, let's hear it.
Give me a sec.
Wait, are you done?
No.
How many more rounds do you have?
Probably like 5 or 6.
Okay, guys, we'll wait.
On pins and needles here. It's important, though.
Are you doing a mock draft?
Yeah, I'm doing a mock.
Oh, he's doing a mock draft. All right,
It's that time of year. What am I tell you? Like I'm so ready to get the drafting over with.
I know.
Like,
dude.
can we talk about our actual teams that we're going to be playing with?
I know.
Instead of worrying about like, I am picking X spot and I got to look out for how people are picking shit. I just want to get it over with.
So, I mean, for me to be honest, guys, I mean the players who I'm really stuck on. I mean, I'm gonna have to give it. I mean, I know I'm not gonna get Jonathan Taylor. I know I'm not gonna get Austin Eckler. I know I'm not gonna get Derrick Henry. I don't even want Christian McCaffrey. I never even see him.
Crazy.
How everyone goes.
I've
with
seen Christian McCaffrey is either like some people think he's the best pick in fantasy football, and some people think that he's not even deserving of being a first round pick. I lean more towards he's not a first round pick. The only reason saying is that he hasn't been healthy in almost like 2.5 years, and I don't know if he has the injury bug. Or Carolina's just going to run him into the ground immediately. Mm-hmm. It's going to be one or the other. He could be awesome. But it scares me because you've been burned by this dude for like the last couple of years. I would much rather be more safe with a Derrick Henry or a Jonathan Taylor. Give me Najee Harris over him. Like I want to know this guy's going to be on the field. But McCaffrey has that upside though. If he does hit and he's healthy, he could swing a league for you. So. It's one of those things. You're just playing percentages at this point.
Yeah, man, I agree, 100%. I don't really know what's going on with Alvin Kamara just yet. I don't know if he's going to be doing 5 years, if he's going to be doing no time, no suspension, or what's going to be happening. I'm not 100% sure just yet, but
oh, this team's nasty. Let's go.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Who do you have so far?
Hang on, I got 3 picks left. I'll let you.
Okay, all right.
Do it.
So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Alvin Kamara. But I mean, the 2 running backs who I would like to have is Alvin Kamara and Nick Chubb. To be honest, those would be like my 2 mega guys who I would want to go with. Or if you can give me Nick Chubbs and let me have DeAndre Swift, I'd be happy with that too.
I like Chubb too. He's in that spot where I don't know if I totally depend on him. And I would actually slide like Aaron Jones over him a bit. But if he's sitting there, man, if he's on, he's a great pick for sure. Yeah. Running backs are a little tricky. It's either you get a top tier dude or you don't. And you just hope that like someone like Elijah Mitchell turns into something, or you see DeAndre Swift coming up and being a real player. Yeah, it's really hard because only like 10 dudes are gonna get to run the ball first, second, and third down.
Yeah, I agree.
You want? I'd rather have a guy that gets to run the ball 20, 25 times than someone that's really explosive. Yeah. Give me the attempts. Anything can happen when he runs the ball. And he's still averaging 4. He'll still probably average a little more than the guy that doesn't.
Then that's Zeke.
Yeah.
Then I would rather have Zeke. But, I mean, for me, when it comes to a running back, I want something that has like a big boy back. Like Nick Chubb, DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
Shifty backs are always good. Yeah, Marshawn was Marshawn's one of the best running backs, top 10 for sure. You know? But again, if I had to pick a 2 running backs to start, Nick Chubb's and Alvin Kamara. I mean, that's just it. Who would you pick? Top 2.
Top 2 for what?
Your starting fantasy running backs.
Oh, I think it's Taylor for sure. Like, and it's just do you like? I know Derrick Henry was hurt. I like him quite a bit. And then who was the third guy on that list? I don't like Eckler so much.
Najee Harris.
To me, it's like it's Taylor, Henry, then Harris to me. And Harris, you in a standard league, you can catch him like at pick 8 or 9. I think find really good value and have an awesome running back coming back around.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up Najee even in the 5th on a mock here just because I'd rather have him than Kupp and
Justin Jefferson.
Just because there's not going to be any good running backs down the road, but there's plenty of good receivers. It just depends on if your league is running 2 or 3 or a flex or a super flex. The more, obviously, is the more the pool gets diluted. But if you're playing a standard, you have a QB, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, a flex, and a defensive play. There's going to be a lot of great receivers that you can find down the road. You just not got to find a lot of great running backs. So his value comes up quite a bit.
Absolutely. I agree.
I like Najee quite a bit this year. What's Pittsburgh got? This guy's in his 2nd year and had the most carries in the league.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Well, guys, let's move on to tight ends. I mean, look, a lot of people are not set on Kyle Pitts because Kyle Pitts only had 1 touchdown last year, but he had over 1,000 yards receiving. He had 74 receptions. People aren't hooked on him. They're not stable on him. You know, the guy didn't really have a lot to offer.
I got auto picked on that last one.
For everyone.
Oh, I exited out of it. I can give you an idea what it was. All right, my QB was Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
That's a great QB for this team. I had Derrick Henry, Saquon,
Okay.
Mike Williams, Tyreek Hill,
Okay.
Darren Schultz.
Great pick.
My tight end. My flex was DK Metcalf.
I love it.
Defense was Bucks.
Like it.
I had who's the kicker from Baltimore, the greatest of all time?
Justin Tucker. He's not the greatest of all time, but Justin Tucker.
That's what they say. So I had Tucker as my kicker. The benchmen were like Kenneth Walker, Sky Moore,
Dope.
Damian Pierce.
Love it. Love it.
What else did I grab? I had one really good one there, and I'm dropping the ball. Give me a second, but
so let me ask you this.
That's a solid team.
All right, so a couple quick questions here. You've always went for Saquon in every single draft that 95% of your drafts that you have done, you've gotten Saquon.
Yeah.
Correct. So what is it about Saquon Barkley that you see in Saquon that nobody else is going to see in Saquon?
Well, I don't know if I'm the only one. I've heard some people are really high on him, but last year he came off an ACL injury. You know, it's not fair to say if he was 100%.
Missed 2 years.
I know he's missed 2 years. But this dude has been drafted in the first round, like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 for the last 3 or 4 years. I'm assuming that and all reports that he's super healthy. He's in a team that really needs his help. He's going to get a lot of touches, and I think he's matured more. What they were saying is like he's not looking to hit the home run every time, more to grab that 4 to 5 yards. And if he can stay healthy, he has all the talent in the world to be a first-round pick, easy. Where he's at, it's like, to me, it's like, here's Kamara and here's Barkley, and then after that, now you're looking into the Nick Chubb area, which is fine and a great back to me, but those two to me with the upside, well, you know, Kamara, if you're in a PPR, he's amazing to have.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
like,
Not last year he wasn't.
Not last year, but that's the thing. You can't always base everything on last year's stats. There's dudes that do go down and then they come back up. I'm just saying though. I think that's a misconception that a lot of people have. Like they just always get from last year's production and expect that it's always going to roll over. Well, there's variance, and if the dude had a bad year, it's not necessarily mean that they're not going to have a great year next year. We're just so used to like putting them down. It's just like this argument works. Just how I think about Christian McCaffrey. He's probably going to be awesome. But I don't know. I'm scared of his injury so much. The facts of where he's going, I don't want any part of it.
Right.
But where Barkley's going, to me, is a great value for a super high-end upside. If you do miss with the running back right there, it's not a death blow. There's going to be plenty of running backs throughout the year that actually will, with guys getting hurt or taking over younger guys, that can put up probably similar production, or maybe not as good, but you can recover from that. But the upside of Barkley is so high if he's awesome. You know, he could easily be like a top 1 to 2 to 3 running backs in the league. I don't see why he couldn't be if he's healthy. And that guy is like a Greek god, basically.
Yeah. But let me ask you this, though. Is he going to be the next David Johnson? Hurt, play, doesn't do well, comes back from his injury, doesn't play as well.
I think Barkley's healthy. He's gonna be awesome. To me, it's just a health thing. He could easily go down with something in the next the first 2 weeks. That's kind of what pick your poison though. But if he's awesome, and where you can a lot of these standard drafts that I've been picking, I'm getting him in the 3rd round, where I think he's top first round talent. Especially when I'm specifically saying towards a standard league.
Right.
Not a super flex. But even a super flex, so I got him in the 3rd or 4th round, I'm pretty happy.
I mean, even if I get him in an auction draft. So I do auction
super
drafts.
Flex, I would like Barkley to be my RB1.
Yeah.
I would. No big deal with that.
No.
Because most of your points are coming from a different source anyways.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But what I'm looking at is, will Shaquan be the guy that everyone needs him to be, or is he going to be just another bust like David Johnson was? Because remember when David Johnson and
I get what you're saying, but Barkley is just cut from a different mold.
That's what everyone was saying about David Johnson.
David Johnson's ceiling isn't anywhere close to Barkley's, in my opinion.
Should have been.
I don't think so. No.
When David Johnson came into the league, David was one of the most highest participated running backs.
Barkley's one of those dudes, you look at him and you're like, and he's got the agility and the speed. He's just fragile.
Yeah.
If he wasn't hurt the last 2 years, we would be talking about him as the first pick overall. Probably pretty consistently.
Every year.
So why? It's a great pick at round 3 or 4 if you grab him there. Shit, I would grab him in the 2nd round if I got him in the late 2nd round. I'm going to be okay with that. At least if you're in the late part, your pick's coming right back around. So it's pretty much your 2nd and 3rd pick right there. If you can get him in the 4th round, yeah, do it. Forget I'll change your whole damn strategy and pick him up. That's how. Yeah. I think he's going to be awesome. I really do.
Well,
the reason I start those teams with Najee and Saquon every time, man.
Yeah.
Ground and pound, buddy.
Hey, do it all day, every day. All right, well, let's move on to tight ends, man. Look, I'm looking at 2 tight ends, okay? Tell me your 2 favorite tight ends that you would like to grab. Let's say that you are pick 6. You're in the 6th.
You mean the best or what I really like?
The ones that you would really like.
Okay. I'm not as big as fan as Kelsey and Andrews that I think most people are. I think that they go too high in your standard drafts, even your super flex. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't pick them at anything more than I would a normal tight end. Where I would who I'd really like to get in a standard league, if I can get Kyle Pitts in the 4th round, I'm very happy. If I can get him in the 5th round, I'm ecstatic. In a super flex, if I can get Kyle Pitts in the 5th to 6th round, that's an awesome value. Yeah. I really like Kyle Pitts. I think he's going to have an awesome year. A lot of these guys that are the best tight ends have been doing it for a very long time, so I feel like Pitts has a lot more tread on his wheels, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And then my 2nd tight end, it depends where you're at. I've been seeing Kittle drop too far lately, and I would think he would be an amazing my 2nd pick is where I can draft him, and who I really like is Kittle this year.
Right.
Other than that, I'm a big fan of Dalton Schultz too. That kind of just looks his way a lot of times, which is a great thing, especially in the red zone.
Well,
don't get me wrong. If you have Kelsey or Andrews and you get them in the right spot, they can be game changers, especially if they've been performing how they've been. It's hard to predict that these guys are going to keep doing it. And I don't know what to make of Kansas City's offense this year. It's just going to look different. I think Mahomes is still going to be awesome. It's just that there's no Tyreek there.
Yeah.
Do they put more people on Kelsey? Who knows? I don't know.
Well, so I look at Kyle Pitts, and I say that Kyle Pitts is going to have a fantastic year again this year. But I also have to look at who's also throwing him the ball. I mean, you have Marcus Mariota and you have Desmond Ridder. That's a possibility to be a starter.
I get this.
But
my counter to that argument, though, is generally that is bad QB safety blanket is thrown to the tight end.
That's exactly where I was going.
And that's where you get a lot of
You completely just took my hot take out of my mouth.
Like that.
No, you're good.
I was like, well, that's why you would like him at this spot.
No,
He's going to get even more targets on a bad team.
You are absolutely 100% correct. Now, when I do look at Kyle Pitts, I look at a safety blanket, okay? But
he's better than that. He's better than a safety blanket.
But he is a safety blanket, though, for these quarterbacks that are in Atlanta. They're safety blankets.
I know, but that just adds to his value. I think he's going to get a million targets.
Just like Cordell Patterson is going to be their safety blanket. Just like Drake London is going to be their safety blanket.
I think Pitts is going to look a lot like Jimmy Graham did.
100%.
Just a dude that you can line as tight end.
Or Jeremy Shockey.
You need to put, back in the day, you put Jimmy Graham on the X or Y, let him go deep.
Right.
Awesome. I think Pitts is the only guy that's kind of like that in this thing. Kelsey will run routes, but, I mean, what is he, 35 now? It's just that it's not to say he won't be great. It's just like you're betting against will he suck at some point. And usually it falls off a cliff very fast for players.
Usually for how much this guy works out and takes care of his body, Travis Kelce, I don't think so. So think of it this way.
It's fine.
When you have Mark Andrews.
He's just still playing the odds of the age.
Right, but listen. When you have Mark Andrews that's out there looking like a flipping O-line, who are you most likely going to go for? Now, Lamar Jackson, remember this. Lamar threw to him for 1,361 yards. That means that he was 80% of their receiving. 80% of their receiving was Mark Andrews.
Oh, you're talking about Baltimore. I thought you were looking at Kelsey. I was like, I don't think that's right.
No. But I'm just giving everyone an example. So when I look at Mark Andrews, I look at 80% of the time they're throwing him the ball because.
Yeah. So listen.
Because why? Because Lamar Jackson only had 2,800 yards passing, but then when he got hurt and he went down, they put the backup in. I can't remember the backup's name. I would love to remember it because he was great, but he only had also like 1,000 yards passing. So what you're telling me right now is that this team had a total of 3,800 yards passing, and this guy is getting 80% of Lamar Jackson's looks?
That's why you probably should be high on Mark Andrews.
Right, absolutely.
Especially in a PPR, if he got targeted 153 times. I didn't realize that. I just don't like Baltimore's offense, and I'm someone that will pick Lamar. I'm not looking. I know that Lamar will be average in passing yards. It's that I might get a 1,200 yards rushing with 8 touchdowns running is massive. It's not throwing it, where in most leagues it's 4 points. It's a full 6 points if he runs it in. It's 2 more points. I know it sounds not like too much, but it adds up. And especially if you guys played fantasy for it, you're going to have probably 5 to 6 weeks in your fantasy league where it's down to Monday Night Football.
So do you know what I think? And
their coach takes your running back out in the fourth quarter.
Right. So right here, this is just me, okay? And I want everyone to understand and just listen to what I'm saying. If I am taking a tight end or a defense or a kicker, I'm looking at 3 things here, and everyone can say whatever the hell they want, okay? But this is what I'm saying. I'm looking at what time of day my tight end, my kicker, and my defense is playing at. I want my defense, my kicker, and my tight end to have more late games than early games. The reason why is because my quarterback, I'm going to try and pick the best quarterback. They're always going to have the best quarterbacks play early. They're always going to have the best running backs and wide receivers play early. No, yes, but listen.
No, yes.
Listen to the strategy. Listen to the strategy. That's different, though. I'm not talking about Monday and third. I'm talking about Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday
because
usually has the best game of the night.
Right, but they're always going to have it's not going to be Buffalo plays 4 times on Monday. No, they have it played once or twice. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they have them play once or twice. They don't have them always play on Mondays. Now listen.
No one wants to play on Monday.
No, but listen. I'm going to look for a tight end that plays later in the day more times than he does earlier because these tight ends, one of them may save my fantasy game. My kicker may save my fantasy game if I'm down by 5 points and I need my kicker to show out.
I guess I see what you're saying, but that's kind of...
I need it.
That sounds a little more superstitious than anything.
No.
Because they're still going to put up whatever numbers they were going to put up. So...
But listen, though. If I need 5 points... And all of your team has already played. I just need 5 points.
Yeah, your tight end should get that. But some of them don't. Right. There's some tight ends.
But that's the nail-biting experience, though. I like to sit there and stand up in front of the TV and just do this and just stare at the screen. And I want the nail-biting experience. I don't know if anybody else wants a nail-biting experience, but I want the nail-biting experience.
Oh, hey, being a Seahawk fan, I've experienced all nail-biting experiences. Especially through the Wilson era.
Especially when Malcolm Butler steps up.
Oh, man. Like, Seattle's been in so many games that it is just down to the wire, and I hate life for an hour. And either it gets really bad or it is like one of the best days of my life.
Yeah. But again, though, think about it, though. Think about it. If you're down by 5 points...
Compared to what, though? Like a running back or a QB or...
No, you need your tight end defense or your kicker to show out.
Oh yeah, a tight end should... Well, that's the thing about defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had Dallas's defense last year in fantasy. Some weeks it'd be 5 points, 6 points, which is actually pretty good.
But they played mostly in the mornings
but
at 1 o'clock.
No, that's not necessarily true. But their defense... Some weeks would score 20 to 21 points out of nowhere. And that's how you wouldn't expect it. Where, who's Stephon Diggs? Trayvon Diggs?
Yeah.
What did he have, 12 picks last year?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, having Dallas's defense.
Was awesome.
And Michael Parsons destroying people. Dallas was an awesome defense to have last year, in my opinion.
That's what you need to have. Oh, it doesn't tell me the times. Well, that sucks.
It's preseason. Nothing counts.
No, I'm not looking at preseason. I'm looking here.
That's what it says right above it.
Karsten, let me take it down. There we go. I'm looking here. I wanted to see what times Cowboys. They played so that I can just try to prove a point. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I'm just trying
type in Dallas Cowboys Fantasy 2021 Fantasy.
Hold on, guys. Stay with us.
That's 2022.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Same thing, I think.
No. Yes. Oh, no, that was it. Oh, no, it's not.
Type in Yahoo in the search line real quick
Here
as
we
well.
Go.
Yeah, see, look at it. They had some pretty big. Was that last year?
Yeah, they had 25 interceptions as a team.
Yeah.
Sacks is 38.
You swing up 15 to 19 points, 16. I won some games last year in Superflex because of this.
True.
Our running backs don't show up, and my defense drops 19 points.
Right.
That's great. They do matter. I just still would suggest to drive your defense pretty much close to less, though.
Yeah, I do too as well. I agree.
Your bench is really important. Don't ever forget that.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, we're about to do.
The chances of your team being healthy all the way through the season is slim to none.
Yeah.
So make sure you draft your bench well. And really, I'm going to keep saying this because we talk about fantasy, but the waiver wire is where you win this stuff.
Yeah.
You do.
So, who is your top defense?
I'm not sure this year. I kind of like Buffalo.
Yeah.
The Chargers have that crazy upside with all that talent on the team. I would kind of like that. I think, but the problem with the Chargers is the division that they're playing in. So it's not like they're just going to get hammered by a bunch of great teams, even though their defense might still be really good. And people will be like, it's not that great, but compared to what their talent they're playing, it's probably pretty good. Yeah. I like Chargers.
I like New Orleans. I mean,
all right.
I think the Saints are going to be a fantastic defense.
There's one that's up there that I disagree with, though.
New England.
The way their offense is looking already in the training camp and the reports that Mac Jones is uncomfortable and blah, blah, blah. If they can't make first downs and they can't score touchdowns, their defense is going to be on the field even more. And it doesn't matter if their defense is good. If you can wear down a defense, it doesn't matter how good they are. If they're tired, they can't keep up with these guys.
Agreed.
So I would shade New England down if I were you, my friends, for sure. I would look more like the upside, like San Francisco, the
Miami,
the Rams for sure. Tampa is always a good one. New Orleans, like David just said. Yep. I would even take a flyer on Miami before I'd go New England this year. To be honest,
I would take the Colts.
Yeah, I would go Colts
as well.
Even too. Someone like Philly might have a decent defense this year. Green Bay, don't sleep on their defense either. Pittsburgh, the Ravens. Never going to be bad choices because those teams apparently have a great defense. Mm-hmm. Like generally, like it's weird with football. Is like certain teams live to a certain thing that they're known for. Like when you think, hey David, if I tell you Chicago Bears, what do you think?
Chicago's defense?
Yeah.
No.
I'm asking you. When I say Chicago Bears, what do you think about them as first, like as a team?
Being first, like as a defense, or just being first as a whole team?
When I think someone tells me about Chicago Bears, I always think them as a defensive first franchise.
Yes,
they've always been that way. They draft that way. They don't. They're very historically bad at drafting QBs as well, and they just seem to fit this weird pattern that they always going to be that. The only team I've seen in the last since I've been born that was different was Pittsburgh, where they were super defense, super running the ball. Until lately, where they're the best at drafting receivers.
Oh, yeah.
And they still pride themselves on great defense, but the running game isn't what Pittsburgh used to have. That's why I like Najee. I think it's going to be a little bit
you
of a
also
flashback
had,
for him.
but you had Le'Veon Bell. You know?
But he is more like a Lindadian Tomlinson type, like come out of the backfield.
Yeah, then you had Jerome Bettis. Yeah, I do see what you're saying. When I hear Pittsburgh though, I hear defense. When I hear Chicago, I hear defense. When I hear Philly, I hear defense. When I hear Denver, I hear defense. When I hear the Rams, I hear all around team. When I hear Detroit, one or two wide receivers. When I hear Seattle, I think defense, offense, all around team.
I would say Seattle is more in that balanced category.
Yeah, but when I also
they're really known for the Legion of Boom, so we're thought of as a defensive franchise, but it's not really been our MO. They were just more like kind of good at both or really bad at both.
But when I hear Dallas, like, what do you think of Dallas? Like, right off the top of your head, Dallas.
Offense. It used to be defense.
Think of offense. It used to be defense, but now it's offense.
It used to be defense. They changed.
Right.
But like now, the Bears are still a defensive team. Even the Niners, if you'd ask me, I would always say they're more on the defensive side than they've been.
But now let me ask you this.
But they're more of a balanced team too.
When you hear Saints,
offense.
I hear Drew Brees.
Yeah, you think offense.
I hear
their
Juice
defense
McAllister.
Is good, though.
I hear offense. I don't hear it when I think of Indy. When I think of the Colts, I think of defense now. Before it was cool. We got Marvin Harrison. We have Peyton Manning. We have
Marshall Faulk.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But when I think
No, it was offense with the Colts. Now they're more like a defensive running team. Like they've changed their. I'm just saying, like there's some though teams that just never get out of the mold.
Yep.
Cincinnati until last year, I would just say always bad. Cleveland Browns
can't figure it out.
Yeah, Cleveland Browns just a crappy organization that was just never gonna figure it out.
Crappy organization, but I will say this though. Fantastic players have came from the Browns.
I would say that, but I think there's been better players coming from Detroit even than the Browns.
Well, I think
in the last 20 years,
at
least you got Megatron out of there. Matthew Stafford shown to be a Super Bowl winner.
Barry Sanders, Benny Blades, Grover Cleveland.
Barry's the best example of all time.
Demarius Slay, Ndamukong Suh.
Detroit's always had. They seem to always have like the one dude that's like the best out of everyone at one position, but the rest of the team is just garbage. Yeah. And you get a little excited about the Lions to start the season, and it goes. I really do like. I will give the Lions credit, at least in the last couple of years, even though their roster is just not as good as everyone else, and they keep messing with the QB and their management and all that stuff.
We're becoming the Browns just on crack.
The Lions. Every time anyone plays the Lions, it's like. This sucks because they're going to keep it close for some damn reason.
Yep.
They do. The Lions are in a lot of football games. They just don't have the talent to win them out.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. But when I do look at the Lions always have either their quarterback is fantastic or scratch the quarterback. Their running back is great. Then we have 2 wide receivers who are super good. And then you look at our defensive side, we always have that 1 D lineman, that 1 cornerback, and that 1 safety. We never really have that full-on hard set who is our best linebacker. Your linebacker should always be the best player, the top. I'm sorry. If you're looking at your defense, he should be the best player on the defensive line and in the middle of the field. Not I'm saying secondary. I'm saying, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but yeah. That's just me though.
I hear you.
Well, Karsten, my man.
I gotta take a leak real quick.
Well, dude, that just tells our show.
Oh, sorry guys.
That just does our show.
By the way, go Drew Lock. He should be our starter.
You think he's going to start? You don't think that it's going to be...
It would be a mistake to start Gino over Drew Lock at this point if our team cares at all about winning.
Okay.
He looked good in this. I know he got sacked by a blitz to lose the game, blah, 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 but he was 10 for 15 with 2 touchdowns.
Right.
Back off. I don't think he's going to end up being the worst QB in the league. I'm sorry to break it to you.
You don't think Drew Lock is?
No.
I don't think Drew Lock is either because of the wide receivers you have in that.
Yeah, it helps.
Come on.
Everyone just kind of conveniently forgets that we don't have DK or Tyler.
And Chris Cross is looking fantastic.
And Noah Fant. He's got some weapons. Kenneth Walker, man, everything I've heard, he's going to be a monster this year, guys.
And with Rashard penning down right now, who knows what's going to happen.
Let's go, Walker.
But, all right, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for joining. Even though we didn't have anyone here in the show today, we only had 4 watchers, and no one stayed the whole time. But that's okay, though, right?
If you catch us on repeats, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, we'll talk to y'all later. You everyone have a good one.
Bye-bye.